Hello everyone. In the previous class, we had covered the topic of analysis of financing activities. Today, we are going to start with the analysis of investing activities. First of all, what do you mean by the investing activities? Investing activity means refers to all the transactions which involve cash, right? Where you are investing money in form of cash. It can be your sale or purchase of equipment, plants, properties, securities, other marketable securities, and generally these are held for long purposes. But sometimes what happens, we are investing cash or the cash which is involved in current assets, that is also very huge in nature. We tremendous capital is invested in current assets also, or inventory also sometimes. So we take it as a part of investing activities today. So on a broad level, the investing activities have been classified into 5 heads. First involves your current assets. Current assets will be consisting your cash and cash equivalents, receivables, and prepaid expenses. Then comes your inventories. Inventories will include your what is the accounting evaluation of inventories, what are the inventory methods, accounting methods, right? And the third one is long-term assets. It includes your capitalization of your long-term assets, and then there is a concept of capitalizing versus expensing. Expensing means where it is treated as expense, and capitalizing means where it is treated as a capital item and it is recorded in the balance sheet. Then comes your plant assets and natural resources. So we have to see how the valuation of the plant is to be done and how do we deal with the natural resources and how do we make the treatment of depreciation and depletion. Then comes your intangible assets. What are your intangible assets? You know, your goodwills, your copyrights, your trademarks, your patents. These are all your intangible assets. So first of all, let's begin with current assets. What are current assets? Current assets include cash and other assets that are convertible into cash with the operating cycle or 1 year of the company. Any asset जो भी आप कैश के अंदर कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो विद इन 1 ईयर के अंदर और जनरली शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए आप होती है, that is your current asset. What is operating cycle? Are you aware of that process? See, there is input, there is processing, and there is output. This is universally structured, universal structure which is applied in all the organizations, isn't it? So this process, buying the input, then converting it into process, and then giving the final output, this process is called as your operating cycle, right? तो उसके अंदर क्या क्या होता है उस साइकिल के अंदर, that would comprise of your operating cycle. What all things are involved in converting the raw material into finished goods. So working capital is the excess of current. Working capital क्या होता है, आपको इस ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल को ऑपरेट करने के लिए, आपको रॉ मटेरियल खरीदने के लिए, फिर रॉ मटेरियल का स्टॉक रखने के लिए, उसको वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस में सम सेमी फिनिश गुड्स वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए, देन उसको फिनिश गुड्स में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए, उसके लिए जो भी कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती हैं, दोज आर कॉल्ड एज योर वर्किंग कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट्स. And firm is required to invest in current assets for a smooth and uninterrupted functioning. So हमारे पास एक enough working capital होनी चाहिए ताकि आपका जो प्रोडक्शन साइकिल, ऑपरेशन साइकिल है, वो somehow it should not get affected. उसमें कोई hindrance नहीं आनी चाहिए. It should keep on playing smoothly. Then debtors are created because goods are sold on credit for marketing and competitive reasons. See, all of you must be knowing, it's not कि हम लोगों ने जो भी हम लोग गुड्स ले रहे हैं या जो भी सेल कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ हमारे पास ऑन कैश तो नहीं होता है. Sometimes we take credit from our suppliers and sometimes we sell our goods on credit. So जब हम गुड्स को सेल करते हैं क्रेडिट पे, तो जो अमाउंट ड्यू रह जाती है उसे हम बोलते हैं रिसीवेबल्स, राइट? This is your operating cycle. So how it is happening? You are from the cash, you are buying raw materials. From raw materials, it's getting converted into, it is going through the production process. It's getting converted into WIP. These are your semi-finished goods. And then further, it goes through the conversion process and you get your finished goods. and then when it is sold on credit, you involve your debtors. So from debtors, how much credit period is given, उसमें कितना time लगेगा आपको cash receive करने में, income को realize करने में. So this all forms your operating cycle. Then let's have a look at the cash and cash equivalents. Cash and cash equivalent, cash everybody knows, and cash equivalent means any item which is not good, which is not cash, but it is as good as cash, in the sense कि without losing the time and without losing the value. आप किसी भी चीज को अगर आप कैश में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो तो that becomes your cash equivalents. So generally the anything which can be converted into cash in less than 3 months, that forms the part of your cash equivalents, right? And it shows the liquidity of the firm. So anything which can be converted into 10 days, 15 days, 60 days, that is your cash equivalent. And what do you mean by liquidity? See, cash tells us कि firm की liquidity position क्या है. Liquidity in the sense कि उसके पास immediately pay करने के लिए cash है या नहीं है अगर कोई obligation arise होता है तो. So liquidity relates to the ability of a company to meet the obligation as they mature. As they mature means जैसे ही आपके ऊपर कोई आता है कोई it arises, then what can whether the company is in the position to pay it or not. So cash equivalent यो commercial paper जो भी less than 90 days के होते हैं, marketable security जो भी होती हैं, money market funds जो होते हैं, short term government bonds जो होते हैं 60 days के या 90 days के, treasury bills, these are all your cash equivalents. Then we have the term receivables. Receivables are the amounts due to the company that arise from the sale of products or services from advances or loans to the companies. But see, accounts receivable हो गया जो आपने आपके debtors को amount due है company के लिए because of the sale of the products and services. वो जो due है those are your accounts receivable. And what are your notes receivable? If an asset of a company, bank or other organization that holds a written promissory note, कोई भी रिटर्न में अगर आपने कुछ क्रेडिट में दिया है, उन्होंने रिटर्न में आपको एक प्रोमिसरी नोट दे दिया है कि हम आपकी पेमेंट सो एंड सो कमिंग टाइम में कर देंगे, दैट इज योर नोट्स रिसीवेबल, राइट? एंड व्हेन जनरली ऑन क्रेडिट आपने कोई गुड सेल किया है तो वो आपका अकाउंट्स रिसीवेबल होता है. तो इसकी वैल्यूएशन हम कैसे करते हैं? सी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि जो रिसीवेबल्स हैं उनका इम्पैक्ट हमारी कंपनी के एसेट पोजीशंस पे और इनकम पे आता है. सो वी हैव टू टेक इनटू कंसीडरेशन very nicely. What we have to do is we take net realizable value for account receivable. Net realizable value means it is the net realizable value means total amount of receivables minus minus allowance for bad debts. See, आप जब भी क्रेडिट पे सेल करते हैं, so every amount doesn't get it doesn't come back to you, right? बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो आपका 80% ही करते हैं, 20% रह जाता है, या कि कुछ लोग भाग जाते हैं, आपको पेमेंट ही नहीं करते हैं. So that term is termed as bad debts. Bad debts means जिसकी आप रिकवरी नहीं कर पाते हो. So by taking a conservatism principle which we follow in accounting, हम already advance में ही we make a provision for bad debts, allowance for bad debts को already हम लेके चलते हैं. So total amount of receivables minus allowance for bad debts, right? So that would give you the net realizable value of your receivables. So account receivables constitute the primary source of incoming cash flows for most business. So we should analyze these invoices to ascertain the health of the underlying cash flow. So उसकी health को पता करने के लिए हमें इसको करना पड़ता है. We try to evaluate the receivables. Then the third part of current assets is your prepaid expenses. What are your prepaid expenses? Prepaid expenses are those future expenses that you have already paid in advance. Okay, so sometimes when it forms a part of current asset, we don't say prepaid expenses. The term which we use we don't use the term expenses. We use prepaid rent, prepaid insurance, prepaid tax, right? Because it is no longer treated as a expense when we are giving it its entry in the balance sheet. So prepaid expense is carried on the balance sheet of an organization as a current asset until it is consumed. जब तक उसको कंज्यूम नहीं करते हैं, जब तक उसका सारा सेट ऑफ नहीं होता है, तब तक उसको करंट एसेट की तरह ट्रीट किया जाता है. The reason for the current asset is that the most prepaid assets are consumed within a few months or their initial recordation के टाइम में उसको जब तक नहीं करते हैं तब तक उसको हम ट्रीट करते हैं. Then next comes your inventories. What are inventories? First of all, any stock, right? The other name for inventories is stock. So inventory is an asset that is intended to be sold in the ordinary course of business. चाहे वो आपका raw material का inventory हो या आपका work in progress का हो या finished goods का हो. It can be any of these three. So it is that stock which you have with you. Either it will be used for conversion or it will be used directly for the sale. So what are the accounting methods? Costing methods are LIFO, FIFO and average cost. These are the generally three important costing methods which we consider while doing the valuation of the inventory. So cost of goods sold is beginning inventories plus net purchases during the year minus ending inventories. It will give you the cost of goods sold, and cost of goods sold and inventories are your interdependent terms, right? Because cost of goods sold give you the inventory. So raw materials, any raw material which is intended to be consumed in the production of finished goods. And what is WIP? It includes items that are in the middle stage. Those are on the middle stage, means सब semi finished goods जो होते हैं. And उसके बाद comes your finished goods, that includes your ready to sell goods to the consumer, which are already in the finished form. You are able to sell them directly to the consumers, right? So inventory costing methods are used to allocate cost of goods sold available for sale, right? So and cost of goods sold we know now what is there. So what are the techniques for determining the optimum level of inventory for a firm? First is inventory turnover, that is cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. It gives us the average inventory. If you divide the COGS divided by average inventory, you will get the inventory turnover कि आपका कितना use हो रहा है. The number of days sale inventory means कि कितना time लग रहा है, कितने days use करती है वो inventory stock में रहने में and going to the final processing. So inventory at the end divided by average daily COGS is here cost of goods sold. So inventory costing impacts your profitability also. How does it impact your profitability? See, there are two methods, LIFO method and a FIFO method. LIFO method is your last in, first out, and FIFO method is your first in, first out. So when inflation is there, when prices are falling, FIFO will result in less current asset and low gross profit. Okay, and LIFO will result in higher current asset and higher gross profit. तो जब आपको gross profit ज्यादा दिखाना होता है, because stakeholders are interested in this, right? ज्यादा दिखाना होता है तो आप LIFO को यूज करते हो. और अदरवाइज आपको ज्यादा प्रॉफिट होगा तो टैक्स लायबिलिटी भी ज्यादा देनी पड़ेगी. तो उस केस में क्या होता है, तो फिर LIFO को ना करके FIFO को यूज करते हैं. एंड जनरली ऑल्सो इफ यू सी इट फ्रॉम IQ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, कॉमन सेंस, कि मोस्टली कंपनीज दे प्रेफर FIFO, फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट. मतलब जो चीज हमने पहले खरीदी थी पहले उसको यूज करेंगे, वेदर इट इज टू बी डिस्पोज्ड, इट इज टू बी यूज्ड और इट इज टू बी सोल्ड. ओके, तो जो यूनिट पहले खरीदी गई है उसी का हम पहले यूज करते हैं, बिकॉज द फर्स्ट रीजन इज पेरिशेबिलिटी. अगर आप कोई ऐसी कंपनी का ऐसे बिजनेस में है जहाँ पे गुड्स आर ऑफ पेरिशेबल नेचर, तो आप ऑब्वियसली उससे पहले कि जो पहले आपने प्रोडक्ट खरीदा हुआ है इट गोज आउट ऑफ एक्सपायरी, सो यू विल ट्राई टू यूज दैट, राइट? एंड अदरवाइज ऑल्सो कि जो पहले चीज आती है हम उसको यूज करते हैं. बट समटाइम्स to show the high profits to the shareholders. Some companies use LIFO method also, but the other third method out of the other than these two are average cost, in which we take the average of beginning inventory also and last end inventory also, and then we divide it by 2. So that method also it can be used. Now moving on to the long-term assets. So let's talk about long-term assets. These can be divided into two heads: tangible fixed assets and intangible assets. Which are tangible fixed assets? Tangible fixed assets are those assets which can be touched, seen and felt, right? And intangible, anything which you cannot see and you cannot touch it, that is intangible. So property, this is also, this term combined, it is also called as PPE, property, plant and equipment. Okay, and sorry, this copyright is not part of this. Copyright should be coming here. Copyright is your intangible asset, so, right? So patents, trademarks, goodwill and copyright, these are your intangible assets. So how do we do for long-term assets? See, there are two methods. Whether we should capitalize the long-term assets. Capitalizing means treating it as a capital item and then showing it up in the balance sheet. दूसरा method है कि expenses की तरह, वो generally हम income statement में दिखाते हैं as a expense, right? But when it comes to long-term assets, हम उसका we prefer to give a capitalization effect. So capitalization refers to the valuation of total business. It is the sum total of owned capital. It is the sum total of owned capital and borrowed capital. So that means total fund जितने भी invest करते हैं हम उन सबको capitalize करके हम उन्हें show करते हैं. उसके लिए हम क्या करते हैं, उसको allocate कैसे करते हैं? See, allocation is the process of periodically expensing a deferred cost. Deferred cost means किसी चीज को postpone करना, right? उसको coming years में उसको कैसे adjust हम करेंगे, that is your deferred cost. So sometimes we treat it as that expense which is taken here, it is done on the deferred cost. So if you are allocating the cost of tangibles, we do the depreciation of the plant and machinery. If we are allocating the cost of intangible asset, then the term is amortization. Okay, this is amortization. And if we are dealing with the natural resources, then we call it depletion, right? So allocation में तीन term अगर हम tangible के लिए करते हैं तो it becomes depreciation, intangible के लिए amortization बोलते हैं, and natural resources के case में depletion हो जाता है. Then the third thing is impairment. Okay, in long-term assets, capitalization is done, allocation is done. In long-term asset, third thing is impairment. What is impairment? It is the process of writing down the book value of the asset when its expected cash flows are no longer sufficient to cover the remaining cost reported on the balance sheet. That means it is that position. Suppose कि आपकी एक किसी मशीनरी की वैल्यू थी 1 लाख, right? And every time annually it was giving you a return of 20,000. But उसने क्या किया, 3 years तक तो उसने वो रिटर्न्स दिए. उसके बाद जो रिटर्न्स उससे आ रहे हैं तो 3 years में आए तो हमने 60,000 ही रिकवर किया ना इससे, राइट? our 40,000 book value is still remaining in the books, but जो कैश फ्लोज हमें उससे आ रहे हैं, अब उसके कैश फ्लोज आर ऑलमोस्ट नेग्लिजिबल. या ये लगाओ कि ईयरली वो अगर आपको 1,000 ही दे रहा है या फिर कुछ भी रिटर्न नहीं दे रहा है, so it won't be able to recover your remaining book value of the asset, right? So this is your impairment. That means कि अब जो उसके आपके इनफ्लोज आएंगे वो आपकी रिमेनिंग बुक वैल्यू को कवर नहीं कर पाएंगे, right? So that is your impairment. Sorry. Then comes the concept of capitalization versus expensing. We know what is capitalization now, right? and expensing is when it is shown as a income or it's in the income statement as an expense. So capitalization is an important part of accounting. It affects both financial statements and their ratios. क्योंकि आपका capital item अगर increase होता है तो it will have an effect on many of your ratios. Maybe return on investment also, return on equity also, asset turnover ratio also. It will be having an impact of all those ratios, right? So it contributes to the superiority of earnings over cash flow as a measure of financial performance. So capitalization में क्या करते हैं, उससे हमारी अर्निंग्स के ऊपर हमारा फोकस होता है rather than focusing on the cash flow, because cash flow में अगर हम इसको as expense दिखा रहे हैं तो it will be impacting our cash flow statement, right? कि कैश हमारा कम हो रहा है ज्यादा, और अगर एक्सपेंस दिखा रहे हो तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी रिड्यूसिंग योर कैश. तो हम कैपिटलाइजेशन इसलिए करते हैं बिकॉज वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन फाइंडिंग द पोजीशन ऑफ द अर्निंग्स रादर देन द कैश फ्लोज. So what are the two effects of capitalization on income? First, capitalization yield higher income in the acquisition period but lower income in the subsequent period as compared with cost. First thing, we just took an example of that machinery कि स्टार्टिंग में कोई भी जो न्यू मशीनरी हमें इंस्टॉल करते हैं, दैट मशीनरी गिव्स हायर इनकम्स इन द बिगिनिंग ईयर्स, बट बाद में डाउन द लाइन 4 साल के बाद 5 साल के बाद उसकी मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है और उसके रिटर्न्स कम हो जाते हैं. और अगर रिटर्न्स वो सेम दे भी रहा है तो उसकी एफिशिएंसी कम होके रिटर्न्स पे इफेक्ट आता है, या कॉस्ट उसकी मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट और रिपेयर्स और वो सब चार्जेस इतने हाई हो जाते हैं कि उसके जो रिटर्न्स है वो ऑलमोस्ट नील हो जाते हैं, राइट? सो कैपिटलाइजेशन यील्ड्स अ स्मूदर इनकम सीरीज. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट इट कि अर्निंग्स पे ज्यादा देता है तो कैपिटलाइजेशन हमेशा इनकम के ऊपर ज्यादा इफेक्ट दिखाता है. सो दैट्स ऑल about your investing activities. So here is an example of expense versus capitalized. So any cost which is associated with establishing a feasibility of a program, including research development में जो लग रहा है, formulation alternatives में लग रहा है, training में, that would be forming as a part of expense. जो salaries, cost of material, contract labor, burden, इसमें कई बार आपकी investment इतनी ज्यादा होती है, then you put it as a capital item, right? So if you have any queries or any questions from today's class, you can ask.